Warning, there will be spoilers.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Galavant, Season 1, Episodes 7 and 8. My cousin Izzy, and it's all in the executions. I'm your host, Dom. With me is my swiveling co-host, Clio.
Hello.
I'm
the Ice King.
My very attentive co-host, Heather. And ADD-infused Mike.
I could swivel. I'm very upset that there was no My Cousin Vinny jokes in episode 7.
I know. Was there, anything to do? It's been a very long time since I've watched My Cousin Vinny, so was there, any, even slight references?
I didn't catch any.
I didn't catch any either. And I've seen that movie more times than I would have liked because it's my mom's favorite movie. It's also my dad's favorite movie.
Okay, no more food in my mouth. Let's do this.
Thank you for the announcement.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Good timing.
We could tell that Heather just really wanted her hero moment there.
I did really want my hero moment.
This is my moment.
He finally finishes it, and it was wasn't any longer than any of the other times he sang it.
It was
like 1 second longer.
Yeah, it's like one syllable longer.
That's it?
That was very, very funny.
That's all I had. You know?
That's all.
He had tried that whole episode to get that out.
Yeah.
I think the highlight of the first half was Gwen and the cook talking about poisoning the kingdom.
Yeah.
That was really funny.
And I was really excited that the cook actually got a bit more to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he's kind of always been like this minor character or whatever. Well, he's I don't want to say minor. He's kind of been floating on the line between minor and reoccurring, character. Yeah. And he really got a chance to shine here. And the whole aftermath of their relationship date kind of thing, it really played out very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Their song was great, too.
Their song was great. I enjoyed the fact that they were, he was prepared to poison them, and then at the last second had, he's not a murderer.
He's not. And Gwen loved that.
I think and John said something about, the two of them are innocent. And I was like, she wanted to murder everyone. She's not innocent.
No.
Not innocent at all.
I love the whole premise. I've been cooking for these people forever. I know what each and every one of them is allergic to. Even Kingsley, who just showed up.
Right. That was a little... And Isabella, too? Or I guess... Right. No? See, I don't know. I'm so confused by this.
On purpose.
Because I was like, he's got to have known Isabella because this is Valencia. Maybe he's been cooking. But then I was like, no, but King Richard, he just talked about how he murdered his whole family, his whole lineage of family. So apparently the cook has been following King Richard around wherever he's been conquesting.
Well, no, because I think what happened was they showed up in Valencia, and over this past year, he's killed his father, his grandfather, and his great-grandfather.
Oh.
They were all cooks. But over the last year, they all were killed.
Maybe.
That's what I got. So he is a Valencia cook.
Oh, okay.
All right, that works for me.
Yeah. So I felt like they could have explained that a little bit better, but,
Maybe.
8-episode format, they didn't have a whole lot of time. So
8 20-minute episode format. Yeah, not a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But... We get the very early stages in the first episode here. The Galavant and King Richard are very much alike. I mean, it's kind of been a little obvious from the start, but it was the most apparent here.
Yeah.
And it's when it made me realize that Richard
Sort of a romance.
Yeah. It's what made me realize that Richard could actually be redeemed here.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely got explored a lot more in the second half, in the final episode.
They both have feelings.
Yeah.
That they're not supposed to have.
Right. Yeah.
Gotta toughen up. Not supposed to have those feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love his hero moment, you know, fights through the guards. I'm like, oh, he's going to actually kill one of them. And then it's just like, get out of my way.
You're allergic to that.
It's like, you're allergic to
clams?
I thought it was crab.
Clams, crabs, I don't know,
some seafood.
Some kind of
seafood, yeah.
Crustacean.
Yeah.
You're allergic to that. No.
But the second half, the second half of the episode, speaking of crabs, was hysterical with the kiss the girl reference.
That was amazing.
Oh my god,
yes, it was.
I was so happy.
They started to sing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sha-la-la-la-la.
Which was great because Alan Menken actually worked on The Little Mermaid. So
he did. Oh my god,
you know,
you're right.
Yeah. So that made that whole scene even more better. But even just before that, the jester trying to recap the whole season and then getting
like,
cut off, that was hysterical.
They just trying to catch them up.
It's like they knew how the show was going to do in ratings and reception as they were filming it. So they just kept getting more and more ridiculous and fourth wall breaky as the show went on.
They didn't care.
They didn't.
From the
start,
they didn't care.
Yeah. Of course they didn't care.
They just wanted to do what they wanted to do, and that's what they were doing. That
they
was
knew
the end of it.
They knew enough people would watch it so it wouldn't completely and utterly flop. But at the same time, they knew they couldn't make a standard 22-episode, hour each, season out of this.
And not only that, if they did do that format, it would get really stale really fast, and the songs would not be anywhere near as good because they'd have to write twice as many.
Right.
Yeah.
And I already felt that these 22-minute episodes were already pretty crammed with song as it was. But the last couple ones have been fairly good.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I felt was a little crammed. Especially episode 5. But
that's, I guess, why you don't see that many musicals on primetime television.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But probably the best song this episode was The Secret Mission.
Oh my god. Them running around the halls singing, and I'm like, are you serious? You're gonna get caught.
That was the best. Oh my god. Like, I love
it. It's the worst plan ever.
It's the best plan ever.
Standing up in the bar like, I'm going to kill my brother. And then they're in the hallway, and there's a line of people lined up, and I'm like, wait, all those people were in the bar, weren't they?
Kiss your feet.
Are they lining up to, rat them out, and then... No.
Kiss your feet.
Yeah, Madalena loves her feet touched. Rubber feet, take her socks off.
Oh my god.
She had to have some kind of crazy character flaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Galavant revealed she had, the worst bunions ever.
Gross feet.
Yeah. What did she say? He say, troll feet or something? I forget.
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm not sure, but it was bad. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So. And you just see King Richard is sitting
so
there
bad,
clapping he's sitting there clapping all giddy with excitement. It's the best news he's ever heard.
He loves gossip.
Yeah, he really does.
He did. But I think the most surprising song was the one of King Richard actually singing, and it echoed throughout the whole castle.
That was so sweet.
It was. It really was. So, I mean...
You see Garrett try to cover his head with his pillow.
Yeah.
No, I need to stay manly.
Oh yeah, no, it's just his ears.
I can't listen to this.
Just his hands and his ears.
Have to stay manly.
Stay manly.
But he did end up caving at the very end of the episode. He sang the last 3 lines of the 3 words of the song. But
that's why we'll forever know Garrett as his Gare Bear.
Gare Bear.
Gare Bear. Oh my god.
That was the best nickname they gave him.
Gare Bear.
What?
It's too funny.
Yeah. But you saw as it progressed that Gareth honestly did care about King Richard, especially when he's giving Galavant these special instructions for Richard.
And I mean, it's never something he's had to acknowledge before. It's always just been I can stay manly and still, take care of my king. But now he has to look at it oh, maybe I do have actual feelings.
Yeah.
I think that's what the show is about. It's like, oh, hey, we have actual feelings, and that's okay.
I mean, they set up in the first half, they set up this whole big story where, you know, they were each going to pick a champion and fight and sit back and just watch it mash out, you know, and it was going to be Gareth versus Galavant, and, you know, then Richard gets this idea. He's going to fight thinking Kingsley's going to fight, and the two of them will go at it, and Kingsley's just like, no, you're going to fight Gareth. I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight. Ugh.
But then, like, as it progressed on and, like, you saw Gareth was still loyal to King Richard and, you know, all this stuff, when it comes down to it, and the thing that totally blew my mind was when Kingsley stood up and was like, what is wrong with you people? Like, Gareth, you couldn't even do your job, and then Madalena just stabs him?
Yeah, like, I'm done.
Yeah. Why did you kill Kingsley? Like, honestly, I don't even know what the whole point of getting Kingsley involved was.
Last week, I said I was very confused about what Madalena's end game was. And then at the end of this episode, I was like, it all makes sense. She had no end game. She was making shit up as she was going along. She wanted Kingsley to come because she thought that because Kingsley didn't want to rule. Kingsley just wanted to fight and do shit. So if she got Kingsley in to take the throne, then she could rule while he did whatever the fuck he wanted. But now she realized she didn't like him, so she stabbed him. And she's playing it by ear. It's like, oh, I don't like this guy.
She's doing what everybody does. She's taking all the cars out for a test drive.
Yeah.
Cars out for a test drive.
As soon as she did that and Gareth sat on the throne with her, I'm like, this all makes sense. She's winging it.
Oh, that's going to go over well.
Winging it.
You either have to lose or gain a lot of weight.
And I love that line when Gareth just sat down. That was great.
It was
only like really skinny girls and really fat girls.
Yeah.
There is no in between.
No in between. Nothing in between.
Do this for me, and I'll give you fat and skinny girls, both of them.
Which was also really surprising that we found out that Kingsley and Madalena never got it on at all.
No.
Not Kingsley, not Kingsley. I meant King Richard.
Right there.
I meant King Richard.
King Richard is still a virgin.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Okay, that just trumps all of it.
He's so adorable. I
was like, oh, he's so cute. I love him so much.
Yeah.
And he's like Virgin Slayer.
And just listening to why he does all these things and why he thinks the way he thinks, it's just he's so adorable.
It's enlightening.
He's like, I'm a virgin. Slayer.
Yeah, and speaking of virgins, what about Isabella's cousin Harry?
Oh my god.
Cute.
Not expecting
I did not expect that.
I mean, he's probably not even a virgin, to be completely honest.
Probably not.
The 7-year-old who's not a virgin. That's gross. Don't say that.
Yeah, well,
let's not say that.
I'm just saying in the context of this show.
When he's in his late 30s, I'll be in my mid-40s. Like, it's not that weird.
That's not that old. Yeah.
That's really not that weird.
Well,
and everybody
agrees.
Of it
like that before.
But what does that make, Matt? What does that make Isabella?
She must be like 20-something.
I think she's only like 18 or 19 in the character.
Yeah.
Because let's just round him up to 10.
Okay.
That would make her 20, right?
Well, she said when he's in his mid-30s, she'd be in her 40s.
So she'd be 25. So if he's 7, then she's like 22, 23.
Yeah, she's early 20s.
Math is not my strong suit.
I'm going to go with 18, 19.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if she's that young.
I don't know how old the actress is. I'm just
right.
Yeah. Well, we know Galavant is 30-something.
Right.
35 probably.
Mm-hmm.
So her getting married to her cousin is, well, besides the fact that if we ignore the fact that he's
it's
her
a cousin, yeah.
The age difference backwards and forwards for her is the same.
Right.
damn it, it's on the other computer. I was going to say, I'm going to load up...
He's as much older as the king is that much younger than her.
I was going to load up the first 5 seconds of episode 7 where it says how many winters ago
30.
it was.
30.
It was 30. Okay.
It said 30.
Well, he was older than 5 at that scene, so he's...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Probably pushing 40.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
So, I seriously think there's a squirrel trying to make its way into this room.
Are you sure it's not a cat trying to make its way out?
Didn't I tell you guys at the beginning of this podcast that Mike had ADD?
No, I'm sorry. I hear scratch. Okay. There's a window, and under the window is like a cutout, like a slot in the wall for air conditioning units to go, like under the window. This is not
relevant.
I know, but it's boarded up, and all I'm hearing is...
Okay, well, you can hear it yourself.
I'm sorry, it's distracting.
The raccoon is coming to eat your face off.
So the other thing that was interesting about Isabella is she starts off as this like really strong character, and now she's literally turned into the damsel in distress.
I think. Well, I need to talk about the ending.
Go on.
Because
we're almost there. We're almost there. But I'm just saying
this is the ending.
She's the damsel in distress now. She's locked in this tower. She's entrapped by her cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like she went from like hero to damsel in like no time. It's like I thought they were trying to play away from these stereotypes and play away from these tropes, and
I guess not, because
I agree. But
I mean, the only thing that they could do to redeem them from that is in the beginning of... I don't want to talk about next season without talking about the ending of this episode.
Right.
If there's even a next season.
Exactly.
That's true. So
let me just talk.
When we discussed last week and we said that this is going to end how no one expected, I think they did actually nail it on the head.
They did.
No one expected this. Nothing else has really done anything to this extreme. I think that's fair to say. There's been similar things, but nothing to the extent of this. And it's just like we don't understand like the fate of anybody.
Right, exactly. Richard and Galavant are on a boat. Isabella's locked up in a boat. Yeah, Isabella's locked up in a tower. Madalena and Gareth are on the throne, and where's everybody else? They're free, right?
Whatever.
No, they're with...
yeah, they're with...
They went to Cousin What's-His-Face's.
Cousin Harry.
Yeah.
So... I may have gotten the wrong... I don't know what the like trailers for the show were supposed to be saying, but what I got was this is going to be a miniseries. And to me...
I think that was just the impression that we were under. I don't remember them ever saying one way or the other.
I think what they did was they made it so that way they could do a miniseries, but if it went well, it would leave it open to be able to continue on.
No, but if they wanted to make this its own self-contained miniseries, there would have been an ending. This was a cliffhanger. They gave us a cliffhanger to something we all thought was going to have an ending. It didn't have an ending.
I mean... I can't
and yes,
say...
it's not what we expected, but I was so... the episode ended, and I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
I can't say that I expected it to be a contained miniseries. I was not under that impression. Well, that's the
definition of a miniseries.
Right. I'm saying I was not under that impression. I was under the impression that this had the possibility of coming back for a second season.
Yeah. What I'm reading here is people are saying it's got a decent chance of being picked back up for the same slot next year. The slot where Once Upon a Time is off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Next year or next...
Or even in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Are they really going to make everybody wait a whole fucking year to watch it?
They might.
And I just think there should have been an actual ending and not a, hey, if we get renewed, ha ha ha, how funny is this? No, it's not funny.
Will all the singing kill our Nielsen ratings? Not funny. Come on, will all the yelling kill the Nielsen ratings?
Yeah, no, that is... Listen, no, that's fine. That line was fine. I thought that line was funny.
That line was great.
It was great. But... I liked all of their self-referential humor until, will there be a season 2? And then it's just like, you're pushing your luck. I was so mad. It was over.
They did get ballsy with it. They did.
But
I mean,
that's the brilliance of it. If it is a self-contained miniseries,
but
they did an ending you'll never expect. A cliffhanger.
I don't know. I think they did it wrong. I don't like it.
All right,
they did it intentionally to spark controversy.
Yeah, and if that's the case, if this is it, 8 episodes and never anything else.
I don't have to like it.
Then
I didn't say you did.
This is the perfect unexpected ending. It's like make you think there will be more next year, but it never comes.
No, the perfect I completely get that, and that's fine, especially for people who thought that this was a good surprise ending. But I think for a surprise, there's a difference between a surprise ending and a surprise ending that infuriates.
Yeah.
Kind of like The Sopranos. But, like...
Exactly!
I didn't even watch the entirety of that show, and that ending got me.
Yeah.
But, alright, so I'm okay with this ending if there's a second season.
Exactly.
If there's not a second season,
it's like, that's really dumb.
Right. That's how this falls for me. So, I'm 100% expecting a second season. I don't think their budget was incredibly high on this. The amount of production time that it took to go into this, I guarantee you they spent more time writing the songs than they did filming and editing. And I think just from watching the making of this miniseries, or whatever you want to call it, this short season, I don't know the official term for it.
Yeah.
I only started calling it a miniseries because that's what Clio, what you had referred to it as. I'd never actually heard them in the advertisement refer to it as a miniseries.
Well, that's also because I thought it was 4 hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
Which is more of a miniseries format than 8 half-hour episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I forget where I was going with that now. What was I just saying?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, from what I'm reading, it's saying decent chance of being renewed. It did well considering what it went up against, like Golden Globes and football playoffs. Additional revenue opportunities unaffected by ratings, and the fact that they get a rebate from the British government for filming in Britain and using 99% British actors.
Right.
King Richard was the only not British actor on that whole show.
The girl, you guys are gonna judge me, but this is the truth. The girl who played Isabella was on Home and Family like 2 days ago.
Okay.
And because I fall asleep watching the most ridiculous late night TV, and that's always on when I wake up. But she was on there, and she was actually talking about the show, and she sang for them and stuff.
Nice.
Aw, that's cute.
And that's actually, I just remember what I was saying before, is I watched the making of this, and every single cast member was talking about how much fun this was. This is the best they've ever had filming any show. If you have not had a chance to watch the making of, if you have on demand, you have access to any of that, go look it up. Making of Galavant. It's like half an hour, 45 minutes long, something like that, and it is great. It is honestly just seeing them like just reminiscing about some of the scenes and stuff and just laughing about it. Like it's I don't know, it's so good. So when the cast genuinely enjoys and has fun with the show, you're gonna expect that it's probably gonna have a little pull in that regards too. Is they may come back, they may take a little bit of a pay cut if that's what it takes to bring the show back because of all the fun that they've had. You know, do you really think Timothy Osmondson is going into this show going, I want a raise? No, he's not doing that. He'd probably work for nothing if he had to for this show to come back. That's just the kind of guy he is.
Yeah, he'd probably do that for Psych, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think the chances of a season 2 are really good. But if there is a season 2, which I really hope there is, because we'll get to explore the buddy comedy between Galavant and King Richard.
Yay!
And that is an aspect that we barely scratched the surface on. You know, we got to see it in The Secret Mission, and that was basically it. And that was the best scene of this whole episode.
Him and his fabulous hair.
But if it does come back, they can't do the same thing for the end of season 2. They can't do that. They have to not necessarily come up with a conclusion but they have to kind of tie off the major threads. You know?
Yeah.
But if it does get renewed for a season 2, then we're going to expect a season 3 out of it, so we may be more forgiving at the same time. So
very true.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, there's a lot of other shows that we watch.
They
all end on these ridiculous cliffhangers. Like, I mean, not for spoilers or anything, but this show has been airing in the middle of Once Upon a Time, and look how Once Upon a Time ended last year with Frozen just walking through the thing. That was a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so...
But at the same time...
It's because we expect it.
We didn't expect another season.
Right.
Very true.
So for this to... I completely understand. I have to get over myself. This
get off your high horse.
With me. I can't get off that high horse yet.
Oh God!
It might take some time, but if by the time this show comes back, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's just right now in the immediate aftermath, because I watched this 5 hours ago.
Right.
In the immediate aftermath, I'm angry. That's it.
Okay, so let me go around round table real quick. Cleo, do you want a season 2?
So I'm not angry at the show forever, yes.
And if it did not end on that note, did you still want a season 2?
Sure.
Even if they wrapped it up nice and neat in a great package? Okay.
Yeah.
Heather?
If it seemed like there was more, because you can end it, but still be like, oh, there's still more to explore here.
Heather, you want to see a season 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The television, primetime television, does not give enough credit to that genre. You know, musical comedies. We have Glee. And I love musicals. I hated Glee. I do not watch Glee. I watched a little bit of Smash when Smash came out in the beginning. I don't know if you even know what that is.
I do.
That's the one where the girl took on the part of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
The first season of that was really, really good. But as Dom said earlier, it is really hard to do a musical where it's a full-length season. It's difficult.
Yeah, not a
lot. With original songs, because I mean, Glee got away with it because they didn't write any of the songs.
They don't write anything. They just redo it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So that cuts a lot of pre-production time.
Right. You know, shows like Smash or like Galavant, when they do their own songs that they personally put together just for that show, it makes sense to have it. Really? I'm sorry. That is amazing. I am so happy right now. Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
It's like an animus King Richard.
God, it's so beautiful. Okay, I'm sorry. But like,
I love no one else could see that yet.
It makes
they'll see it soon.
It makes it so that way when you do it in these small portions, it's okay. It's good. So yes, I want to see another one. I am a huge musical fan, so
I am too.
Yeah.
Love musicals. So, and I grew up watching Monty Python. So
yes.
Something so close.
This stayed very true to our original prediction of Monty Python meets Princess Bride. It did.
Yeah.
It really did, and I loved it. And
it really had a good, like, Robin Hood Men in Tights kind of feel to it, too.
It did, because, you know, when I was a kid, that's what I watched. I watched Monty Python, Robin Hood Men in Tights, you know, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
That kind of silly, goofy, does not make much sense shit.
I watched Men in Tights when I was 6, I think, for the first time. Or 7, I don't know. It was the year it came out, and it was on TV. And I'm just watching it like, this is funny. I don't get it. And then I watched it when I was like, again, when I was 14 or 15, and I'm like, I really underappreciated this as a kid.
Yeah.
Because there's no way a kid can appreciate that.
No, there's not.
Unless they're really
not
fucked up kids.
Fully appreciate. I loved the bit, you know, I am a sneeze.
No. I'm not.
A chew.
Yeah.
I grew up in the drama departments at school.
That works.
I was a huge drama brat, like all the way from like middle school up until I got out of school. So for me to actually watch those and understand them at a very early age, it was rare.
Yeah.
Yep.
But immediately following Galavant, Timothy Amundsen got onto Twitter and started responding to various people. And one of the very noteworthy thing is someone, Sean Whitlock, had said, after ABC renew Galavant, can Kurt Smith from Tears of Fears do a duet in season 2 with Amundsen? He responded, he accepts. Timothy said he accepts. And then Kurt Smith responded and said, I'm so in.
Right.
So we may very well see that. And Timothy comes back in, goes fantastic. Something saucy yet melancholy and a bouncy C. So.
Oh my god.
And moments after Galavant ended, Timothy had tweeted out the hashtag Renew Galavant. And it was trending in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Galavant did amazing.
It did.
It had great reviews the entire time, even with, the Super Bowl stuff going on and the playoffs and all this other stuff. We've had how many freaking award shows in the past couple of weeks? Beginning of the award shows.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking here. What do we got? We got first week was 7 million, second week was 4 million, third week was 3.5 million, and this week was 4.5 million. So you got that was against football playoffs, which are huge.
Golden Globes.
The Golden Globes. Everybody watches that shit. I don't, but apparently everybody does.
Right.
That's what they tell me.
I watched them.
I did not.
I watched the SAG Awards last night too.
Well, aren't you fancy? So yeah, it looks good. To answer the question that was going around 5 minutes ago, I want a season 2. I don't care if I nitpick any episode.
Yeah, we kind of got on off a rant.
That's all right. I don't care. Yeah. If anybody, I nitpick episodes here and there, but I don't care. This is my kind of humor, 100%. So I love every bit of this show. Also, fun fact that makes me, I don't know how I feel about this. The guy who plays Galavant, Joshua Sass or Sasse, however you pronounce it, is 19 days older than me.
Impressive.
Would you have called that he's 27?
No.
I know, right?
That's like with me and Dom.
Beards do wonders.
That's like with me and Dom when we found out that the girls from freaking Pretty Little Liars are all like in their 30s.
Oh, I knew.
God.
I actually knew one of them was in their 30s from.
Yeah, I think one of them is under the age of like 25, and all the rest of them are between 30 and 40.
Where do they keep their Lazarus pits?
I know, right?
That's very, very good. Or that's just an amazing makeup department.
Yeah, like shit.
I think the oldest one is like 35 or something like that. I don't think it's that high.
35 playing a
18,
teenager,
19, 20-year-old.
I mean, people do it all the time, but Jesus.
Yeah, beards do wonders.
They do.
God, if this show was going on net for next week, I would be tempted to completely shave it all off.
I mean, okay, so for me, I've wanted a season 2 before this show even aired.
I know.
Right? As soon as I saw the preview first 5-minute trailer thing that they released for this, I go, I don't ever want this show to end. Like, I already want this show forever.
The only thing that could absolutely kill this show is adding episodes.
I agree. If they do come back for season 2, which I'm willing to bet that they will, they need to keep the same format. Very short,
if they
keep
add
it 8 episodes or so.
It's going to be too long because this season already dragged in the middle.
Yeah, we had I mentioned the Sid episode, right, where we stopped in his hometown, Sydneyland, and all that. That's where it started. We had that. There was no need for that episode. It had very little character development for Sid, and that was about it. We had an entire episode for Sid. We didn't need that. We could have had a fraction of that.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other one,
it
was last week with the monks, and it really just felt shoehorned.
For no reason, monks.
Yeah,
it was just set up a little bit of plot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. set up a little bit of plot, but that's something they could have set up in less than a minute.
Yeah.
It's like we flew Weird Al to Great Britain just to film with him for 6 hours and force him into this show, like to shoehorn a famous, parody musician.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. His role just felt so forced.
Okay, so favorite really character, favorite character of this season.
King fucking Richard.
Yep.
Sid.
Really?
Sid is a close second.
No one like Gareth?
I really like Sid.
Gareth?
Oh god damn it! I like Gareth. I like the actor who plays Gareth.
They're all great. Like even
I was very surprised at Vinny's humor in this.
By the end, I loved Madalena.
Exactly.
Really?
Like even Madalena, by the end of it, you love her.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to pick one character. It's not fair.
Very hard.
Okay, so then let's flip it then. Who do you think was the weakest character? And not the guest stars.
Not the guest stars.
Out of what?
The character that was in it from...
Out of the main 6 characters, I guess.
I would go with Galavant.
Let's see. Out of Galavant, Sid, Madalena, Gareth, Richard, and I'm missing one. Aren't I missing one?
Madalena.
I said that. I thought. Okay.
Shit!
Out of all of Galavant was amazing, but he was the weakest character out of all of them.
He had the least amount of growth. He was very the same the entire time.
But the thing about that is he just realized what he had all along. It's like a Wizard of Oz thing.
I'm finding it really difficult to pick that this is... I didn't think I'd have this much trouble.
They all did amazingly.
I mean,
all the characters were great, but...
King Richard is my favorite character. That is not a hard assessment for me to come to.
I think I just said Galavant off the bat like that because he probably was like the most annoying character to me.
Yeah, but coming after that, I have no idea. I love them all.
For me, I think Sid was a little bit weaker than Galavant. Just by a hair, though.
You're probably right.
A little more, but
I like
by a hair,
Sid,
and I honestly think it's because of that Sydneyland episode that just felt really, really out of place to me. And if it wasn't for that episode, I don't think I'd have the exact same opinion. That episode really just kind of turned me off to the character. So. But, okay. Favorite song?
The one this week.
The drunken one.
The Fool in the Can
Secret
or whatever.
Plan.
This episode, The Secret Plan.
Yeah, Secret Plan.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Secret Plan.
I like that song, but the pirate song is still my favorite.
Pirate song.
I don't know. Secret Plan just blew it out of the water.
Secret Plan.
Secret Plan.
It's a tie for me between Secret Plan and Hero's Journey. It really is.
Yeah.
There's something about Heroes. We're off on a Hero's Journey. It stuck with me, and it. I actually want to say the opening song, but since they changed it, I grew a little bit of a distaste for it.
I didn't even think about that. The opening song was great.
The opening song was great, but
and
like
they
I said,
overused that melody.
Those little tweaks that they did, though, those few tiny little lines that they tweak irritated me enough that it changed the whole song for me.
I didn't care about the lines. It was just they overused that melody, not only in the openings, but for every recap, and then with all those commercials.
The commercials, keep in mind, though, they only did that the first week. They never did that again.
I know. I wish they would have kept doing that. That would have been so amazing.
But also,
it would have been too horrible.
But if that was the case, if that was the case with the commercials, if they knew that that's what they were going to do, they should have spread them out across the 4 weeks instead of all on the opening night, given a few on 2 a night or something like that. That would have been fine.
See. Yeah, but also overusing that song, it's like the main song. That's the overture.
It is. I do agree with you there, Mike. Because you
look at any play, they're gonna any musical on Broadway, you're gonna rehear the same tune 3 or 4 times throughout a whole.
But musicals on Broadway don't come back
with commercials.
No, but like,
yes, all right.
Like, take a look at like Beauty and the Beast. That Tale is Over Time. Like that was in the background of the whole cartoon.
Yes, I'm not talking about the background. I'm talking about they used it for all of the
Yeah, but also you gotta realize
on Galavant, with lines over it. That's what I meant by overusing the melody.
I don't know. It fit. It worked. That was, you know, the familiar thing.
I'm just saying why I can't claim it as my favorite.
I think it was the familiarity of it that was the glue that bound it together.
Yeah.
I think because there was always something familiar that you could latch onto.
The pirate song for me, because it was the most comedic. I just thought the lines were well written, and it's the song that's stuck in my head. Yeah, it's the song that's stuck in my head all goddamn day for the last 2 weeks.
I mean, that's me with Hero's Journey.
Yeah, I'm walking around the house. I'm doing stuff in the kitchen, and I find myself humming, but not the actual sea. And then I'm like, what am I doing?
I mean, I don't even remember how Secret Mission went. I can't think of it, like the words, any of it off the top of my head.
I just picture them drunkenly stumbling around, and it's perfect.
Yeah. So, I mean, the song itself, probably, I can't say it's up there with the best song, because I can't remember a single word in it. I just remember
I'm not talking about best song. I thought we were picking favorites.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Favorites and best are two different things. Because my favorite is Sid. He's not the best character, but he's my favorite.
Right.
Oh, I'm still paranoid, thinking something's trying to crawl its way into my room, and I hear crazy noises. I look down, it's my cat chewing on a bag.
We told you this.
No, I know it wasn't her before because she was sleeping on the bed, and
you're sleeping on the bed. So, do you guys have anything else you want to discuss for this episode before Mike goes on a 2-hour rant about squirrels?
No.
I gotta go on a rant about squirrels. I have a fun story about a squirrel that happened today that I could tell you.
Okay,
let's move on.
Okay.
That's for later.
I'm playing the music now. Clio, where can the people find you?
Clio Moto, all over the internet.
Heather, where can the people find you?
Kernixia, all over the internet.
She's miming my box over here.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
I'm good. That's fine.
You can find us all on ASOTV. Oh wait. You can find us all on ASOTV podcast on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube. And maybe, just maybe, we'll let you figure out where Mike is if he's not playing with squirrels.
What?
Mike, where can the people find your love for squirrels?
You can find me on Twitter at Philadrin. I have no love for squirrels, and let's see how you react when it sounds like something's crawling through your walls.
I have no love for those foul beasts.
I'm just gonna sit here and just keep scratching.
So, until possibly next year, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks.
And we're gonna leave you on a cliffhanger because maybe on Galavant Season 2 we will find out if Mike got eaten by squirrels.
Actually, if you watch any of our other podcasts, you'd figure that out soon.
Nope.
Prepare yourself for the hell.
Nope, Mike only exists in this podcast. That's it.
The Hoarfrost.
You cannot find him on the podcast we're recording right after this.
Yeah,